Actually, Russian is a beautiful language. When I was in Ukraine last time, I promised that next time I go there, I will have a short sermonette in Russian. And, you know, thankfully, you know, from this perspective, right, I couldn't go there for 2 years. Because of travel restrictions. But now Brother Maxim came to me last Sabbath, and he showed me a translation from Google saying, please join us for the youth convention this December. And I'm in big trouble. I'm in big trouble. So the day before yesterday, I started learning Russian. And please pray for me so I can fulfill my promise to the young people in Ukraine. And hopefully I will get it done by then. What do you think? Mm? Yes. Do I have any chance? Yeah? Yes? Okay. Da. Da. Конечно, right? Okay. Well, 2 weeks ago, my wife and I visited Pennsylvania for a youth convention. And the theme of the youth convention was friendship. And I had never actually had a series of studies on friendship. You know, you always have studies here and there about friendship, but never did I have a series on friendship, right? And the outcome was a blessing for everybody. And I decided, since I have this chance to share with you the word today, I would like to bring some of those highlights here to Roanoke, if you don't mind. You know, many times I've wondered what it would take for God's church to become more friendly. I know friendship is being manifested in different ways, in different places, and before I travel to a country, I like to look at customs in that specific country, how much friendship you should show, how much friendship you should avoid to show, right? You know, because in some places, for example, they don't shake hands, they don't hug each other, and you need to know some of the details so you don't offend people trying to be friendly, right? But of course, at the same time, you don't want to overthink about it, you know? Just be friendly, right? The way you know to show friendship, and you will see the results. The verse that was just read, the first part of Proverbs 18:24 says, a man that has friends must show himself friendly. What is principle number 1 of making friends? Principle number 1 is to be friendly. Isn't it funny? It's interesting that people who complain most about not having friends are those who are not friendly. Did you notice that? The ones that complain most about not having friends are those who are not friendly. And it looks like the automatic results of our attitude are going to be exactly the consequence of our attitude. It's a natural result, and we complain usually about the way people relate to us, even though we relate to them the same way. And what if, I hear many times young people specifically say, I don't like to go to that church, or I don't like to go to the other church, because people there are not friendly. Or you hear people, young people say, you know, I don't have any friend in the church. And guess what? That used to be me. Um, before I accepted the Lord, I was friend with who was friend to me, but I was an enemy with who was an enemy to me. So when I started visiting the church, I had the same principle, right? I'm friendly to those who are friendly to me. And so the place that I was going to church, it was a church that had a lot of rich people, a lot of people with influence, and I didn't leave the impression that I had money, or I didn't give the impression that I was a smart person. I was just visiting. I was, shy, as you all know I am, right? And I was just sitting in the back of the church and watching attitude. And during the break time, because I didn't have friends, I didn't go out to say hi to anybody. But there was this group of young people always coming together and chatting and laughing and having a good time, right? And I was sitting there in the back of the church thinking to myself, nobody talks to me. These young people must be too proud to talk to me. I wasn't wearing a suit. I didn't know you were supposed to, right? I was dressed more in a sports attire, right? And I was kind of sad, right? Because in the world I had so many friends, and now suddenly I come to a new environment and nobody talks to me. But one Sabbath, I went home and I read somewhere, I still believe it was, somebody gave me Testimonies Volume 4, and I opened that book and I read that you are not supposed to accept others to be a blessing to you, but rather you be a blessing to others. I never read that paragraph again. I couldn't find it anymore. Maybe it was something else, but that's what I understood, because I was so affected by the attitude of others. So the following Sabbath, I went to church, and I decided that during break time, I would be the one taking the initiative to be friendly. So I went to this group of young people and I introduced myself. Hey, my name is Adrian, how are you? So we got to know each other, we became very good friends, and when we became really good friends, they told me, remember when you were coming and just sitting in the back of the church? Yes. They said, you are not talking with us, and we thought that you were too proud to talk to us. They were thinking the same. Somebody needed to take the initiative, because everybody thinks the same way about you, just like you think about them, right? Now, why would you expect somebody to be friend when you yourself are not friendly? Friendship is not won by default, right? And it's not even, you would expect the host to be more friendly than the visitors, right? That's what you would expect. But when we are Christian, it doesn't matter where you go to be a blessing. It doesn't matter whether you are the host or you are the visitor. No, you are naturally born again as a missionary, right? As a friendly person. I heard one day somebody say, we had separate meetings, young people and parents, right? And so I had to be present in both groups, at least for a while. And it was interesting that when I went to either group, they were speaking about the same subject. The parents were speaking about how the young people are not respectful to the elderly, how they pass by the elderly in the church and they don't say hi. In some countries, in our country, for example, we are educated that it doesn't matter whether you are friends or not, or whether you are the same age or not, you say hi to one another. When you see each other, that's the first thing you say, hi, right? So the parents were complaining that the young people were disrespectful. They were not saying hi to the old people, and the older people or the parents were feeling like they were not worth talking to. So I went to the young people's room, and they were talking about the same subject, and they were saying that the elderly or the parents are not saying hi to them, that they don't consider them experienced enough, and that they are not worthy of their hi and bye, right? They were talking about the same subject. And you wonder sometimes, who is right? The youth or the parents? Who is right to complain about it? None, because in reality, it looks like both have the same problem, right? Both have the same problem. You know, you don't have to give people hugs, but acknowledge their presence. It's not like they are transparent or they are invisible. Yeah, you say hi to the person. It doesn't cost you anything. Be friendly, because that word, according to the spirit of prophecy, one word spoken in due season may bring the little feet, speaking about the young people, to the kingdom of God. But one word not spoken, or one evil word, can take them to ruin, right? One word can make a difference in the life of someone. You know, just think about how many people might have kept coming to church if we said hi to them. Just one simple word, right? Rule number one of having friends is what? Be friendly, right? Well, at the same time, you know, while we appreciate friendship, be mindful of extreme friendship, right? What I'm referring to is lately, I don't know whether we observe it more or there are more of them, but there are friends who express extreme friendship with purpose, right? To get your attention, to get you be friendly back, extremely friendly back. And I'm referring specifically to those who want to take advantage of naivety, of people's naivety, right? Like narcissists, you know. For example, they offer expensive gifts to young people just to draw their attention, just to gain their friendship with a specific purpose, which is evil, right? So it doesn't. Be friendly, but be aware of extreme friendship, you know, to call it that way. But that was a parenthesis. And I don't want anybody to feel bad because they reject these advances of extremely friendly people, right? So how do you identify friends? How do you identify that somebody is a friend? Or you identify that somebody is friendly? According to Matthew 7:16, we shall know these friends according to, by their fruits, right? That's how you know somebody is a friend or not, you know. How do true friends behave? Let's see the works of true friends. First of all, real friends are willing to sacrifice. They don't always look to benefit from the friendship. They are willing to invest in it without expecting to receive anything in exchange. They are willing to sacrifice. John 15:13 says, "Greater love has no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends." Is there greater love than sacrificing for someone? Now, what can you sacrifice for a friend? If somebody asks some of your time to help them in something, And if there is nothing in it for you, are you willing to take that time for that person? So we are not here checking on whether others are friendly to us. We are here checking on whether we are friendly enough to others. Because rule number one of having friends is what? To be friendly, right? So don't think about whether others took time off from whatever they are doing so they can help you. Think of whether you are willing to do so. Because we are here learning how to be friendly so we can get friends, right? So real friends sacrifice for one another. So if somebody is asking you at maybe an inconvenient time for you to do something for them, how do you respond? If somebody, let's say, runs out of gas and it's midnight and you are the closest to the place where they ran out of gas and they call you to help them out, what do you say? Well, most popular answer is probably, get an Uber, right? In today's time, right? Well, you know the whether you don't know whether the person has has money to pay a Uber right then or whatever the circumstances, right? Somebody ran out of gas, and that person calls you not because he has so many other more convenient means by which they could get help. The person called you because the person needs you, right? Sometimes, when you are friendly, like I just mentioned, people will ask, what is going on? Why is he suddenly so friendly to me, right? And you want to make sure your friendship is not misunderstood. And this is what Paul the Apostle did. He wanted to make sure people understood that he didn't ask for anything in exchange for his friendship. And he says in Acts 20, 33 through 35, I have coveted no man's silver or gold or apparel. Yea, ye yourselves know that these hands have ministered unto my necessities and to them that were with me. I have showed you all things, how that so laboring ye ought to support the weak, and to remember the words of the Lord Jesus, how he said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Yeah, so Paul says here, don't think that I'm doing all these things so I can get a favor from you. No. I never coveted any man's silver or gold. I'm not here because of your money, right? I'm not laboring here because I have an interest in what you can give me back. No. I'm here because I want to be a blessing, because I learned that it is more blessed to give than to receive. And he doesn't even address the fact that I know in the back of my head that by giving I will receive more, right? Because that's the promise given to those who give, that they will receive more, right? It says, whoever leaves this and that for me will receive how many times more? 100-fold more. So he doesn't even touch on that point because he was not interested in it. So he said, I show you by example that we who have more and are stronger are supposed to help those who have less and are weaker. Right? That's what he says here. I showed you by example that we are supposed to help the weak. Now, the weak doesn't only mean physically weak. It means financially weak, emotionally weak. Who knows? And we know that in today's time, there are so many circumstances surrounding young people specifically that we don't really know what they went through and what they experienced, and this is why they are not friendly to us. So many people go through maybe mistrust. They go through bad experiences. They don't want to trust somebody else. They are not friendly because they are afraid of what might happen to them. If we expect them to be friendly to us before we are friendly to them, what will happen to that weaker person? Is that person going to be helped, or is going to be more discouraged and less friendly because they lose trust in you as well? So real friends are those who are willing to sacrifice and not to benefit from this friendship. If they benefit, it's okay, but this is not why they are friendly. Let's talk a little bit about false friends. Remember the story of the prodigal son and how the spirit of prophecy comments on how he spent all he had, and after he spent all he had with his friends, how many friends were left? No more friends, right? What happened? When you have money, everybody wants to be your friend, right? When you run out of money, the friends will not be there anymore because they have nothing to benefit from. So false friends are those who are friendly to you only when you have something to offer them. When you have nothing to offer, they are not friendly anymore. In today's world, the expression that is being used among young people is, I want to be friends with the cool people. Right? Who are the cool people today? Those who have an interesting haircut, right? Those who have maybe a luxury car. The cool people are, those who dress with tall pants, right? Who knows what, how many definitions there are of cool people. And those are the popular people in the neighborhood, right? And that's who you want your friends to be. Isn't that what young people are looking for? For the most popular, because if you are with the cool people, then everybody thinks you are cool, right? How about being friends to those who are bullied by others? How about that? Because they really need you. They really need us. How about being friends with those that usually sit in a corner like I was doing when I was by myself, right? Praise the Lord, a paragraph saved my life, because I read, but nobody has that access to that paragraph, and nobody maybe understands it that way as I did. How about being friends with those? Is your influence going to diminish because of it? Well, maybe among cool people, yes, but not among real people. No, your influence is going to increase because you are friendly to those who have no friends. As I travel, I see this happening more and more. Young people divided into categories. The coolest, the cooler, the cool, and not cool. Right? So you want to be with the coolest. And if you cannot reach up to there, you are with the cooler people. And then at least with the cool, but you don't want to be lower than that. And what I learned in life is that the ones that are quiet, that are humble, that sit in their place, have much more to share than those who focus on external appearance. I learned that not once, not twice, but a lot of times. You are amazed. If you really get to listen to those people, they are so intelligent. And by the way, they have so much information stored because they don't share with anybody, right? You have to benefit from it. But we tend to make fun of those who are quiet, of those who are not cool. And maybe you will say, you know, why do you preach about that here? You know, this is not the place you are supposed to preach about that, because we do not marginalize. We do not marginalize people. We do not belittle people. We do not bully people. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Now, Jesus, when he was on this earth, he didn't give like a shiny impression, right? Like, you know, people wanted to be friends with him. But when he started performing miracles and when he started to become popular, everybody wanted to be around him. And then suddenly somebody introduces himself as somebody who is impressed and he wants to be with Jesus, he wants to learn from Jesus. And he comes and invites himself into the group of the disciples. You know who I'm talking about? Huh? He comes and he says, you know, I could be a good disciple. But in reality, Jesus had become cool, right? He was popular now, and now he wanted to be with the cool people. You know, the disciples were already gaining influence around. They were known that they were walking with this miracle-performing man. You know, he's making up his team of followers. And Judas said, I want to be part of that. I want to be cool. So he said, can I be part of this group? And what did Jesus answer to him? In Matthew 8:20. What did he say? The foxes have holes and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. Why did Jesus give that answer to Judas? He said, if you want to become rich, if you want, you know, this is not the place. And yet, he insisted and he became part of it. And what responsibility did he have? What? He was the treasurer. That's amazing, right? How he attached himself to the place where he could be benefited from this. False friends are described in Psalm 41:9. It says, mine own familiar friends in whom I trusted, which did eat my bread, have lifted up his heel against me. So what happens usually with those who are friendly just because they want to benefit from you? When you get in trouble, what happens with them? They disappear. Not only do they disappear, but if they could earn something from going against you, what will they do? They will turn against you. They will turn against you. And what did they do? When you had food, what did they do? They became your friends. They came to your house. They ate in your house. But then when they have an opportunity, they are going to go against you. How many times this happened in Christianity? People come, eat at your table 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, 2 months, and then when they depart, they speak to others of something they've seen in your house, right? You know, like, for example, you didn't have time to clean the laundry, right? You know, it happens. Somebody shows up and you throw all your clothes in the laundry. I know it didn't happen to you. It happened to me once, you know. I threw everything in the laundry room and, you know, that's it. And see, the laundry room is at the entrance from the garage. You know, people took a sneak, right? Yeah, it happens. You know, they look and they see, and they come, they eat, they are friendly, they smile. And then, next you hear, is somebody say, I heard that, some of the pastors' laundry room is a mess. And it happened once, and who saw it, right? And you wonder, if that was such a bother, why did they eat? They have refused to eat in my house, right? But they come, they benefit from your friendship, and when it comes to it, they turn against you. Let's go a little deeper. Great Controversy 608. Men of talent and pleasing address, who once rejoiced in the truth, employed their powers to deceive and mislead souls. They become the most bitter enemies of their former brethren. So those who ate in your house, those who benefited from your friendship, those who you prayed with and for, when their life is threatened and they think they can earn maybe one more day of life, or who knows, they will not only turn away from Christ, but they will turn against the brethren. And I'm not speaking of, theory of something that will happen in the future. It is something that has happened in countries that suffer persecution. Those who once ate at your table, those who once were your friends, they are going to sell you and betray you. And because they know all your intimate things, they will know how to turn you in. And you'll be in trouble because of those friends. And it continues here, when Sabbath keepers are brought before the courts to answer for their faith, these apostates are the most efficient agents of Satan to misrepresent and accuse them, and by false reports and insinuations to stir up the rulers against them. And now going back to Judas, he introduced himself to Jesus. He said, I will be the most honorable follower of yours. And wasn't he, in the eyes of the apostles? Wasn't he the most honorable? Wasn't he the most influential among them because he was smart, right? Maybe in today's term, we would call him narcissist. Who knows, right? Because he had his intentions well clear, and he went through with everything, and he earned everybody's favor, and suddenly, he became one of them, and nobody would dare think anything evil about him. And now, when the time comes when the time came for Jesus to be arrested, it says in Luke 22:47 through 48, and while he yet spake, behold, the multitude, and he that was called Judas, one of the 12, went before them and drew near unto Jesus to do what? To do what? To kiss him. Wait a minute. Isn't that a friendly gesture? Isn't it a friendly gesture? To go and hug somebody and kiss him or her? It's a friendly gesture, right? But Jesus said unto him, Judas, betrayest thou the Son of Man with a kiss? You betray someone who was so good to you with a sign of friendship. Right? With a sign of friendship, you betray your Lord. Why am I talking about this to a friendly church? Why am I speaking about this to a friendly church? It's because I heard that some of the young people feel like they don't have friends, even though they're in a friendly church. At least that's the impression we give at first, right? Maybe we should redefine the word friendship and say that it means not to be friends with those who are friendly, but to be friends in spite of the fact that people around us are not friendly, right? And some of the young people here know, and it's nothing particularly wrong, but some of the young people here know that I am a little too insistent, right? And when they pass by and they say nothing, I go after them and say, "Hey, you passed so fast by me. I didn't get a chance to say hi." And I've been doing this for a while, and guess what happened? I don't know whether they are downstairs or here. It doesn't matter. But one day, and like I said, I know it's not even intention. People are busy and they go and they forget to say hi. But after a while, they go out of their way to say hi. It's interesting. Try that. If you know somebody in the church who usually doesn't say hi, don't expect them to, right? You be friendly, and you will see. And if it doesn't happen after you try it 3 or 5 times, come back to me and say, "Brother Adrian, you are a liar. It didn't work." But try it. Try to be friendly to those who are not friendly. And when you become friends, you will know why they were not friendly. And you will feel bad about you judging them. Just try it. When you hear their story and what they went through that specific morning when they didn't say hi, what they were focused on with their thoughts, you are going to feel bad and say, "Oh man, who knows how many times he or she felt that way when they didn't say hi and I judged them." So instead, why not be friendly? Because guess what? If you don't say hi to those who don't say hi, when they go home, they share with their friends and say, "That person didn't even say hi to me." It's exactly what you say to your friends. Can we be friendly? We have to. If you want to have friends. If you don't care about having or not having friends, then don't be friendly. And you will get what you deserve. But don't judge others for not being friendly. And I would like to end with this. I have much more, right, to share, but we will have another one. We will have probably 3 or 4 on this subject. But not finding real friends in the church may lead young people to making friends outside of the church. And guess what I heard from somebody once? Said, "My son told me, when you visit places, people tell you, right? I mean, they open their hearts, and thankfully they are not here, right? But he said, my son said that when he will turn 18, he will not come to church anymore because he has no friends. Who knows if there might be one of them in Roanoke Church. Just because you expected him or her to be friendly. To be friendly first. And then you would be friendly as well. Do you think it's worth being friendly to people, even when they are not friendly? Do you think it is? Yes, it is. You'll be amazed what the result there will be. Let's try it. What do you think? Can we? The young people start saying hi to the parents of others. And then we, the parents, let's say hi to the young people. We will have a special message on the relationship between young people and the more experienced ones in the church. There will be one study on that as well, but for now, let's stick with that. Let's be friendly to those who are inclined to not being friendly, and you will see the result. I promise you, there will be a change. And the effort we put into it is how much? What is it? Hi or bye? And try to do it this way, because this is what happened to me, and I'm really glad that I went for it. It doesn't matter if the person passes you and goes, I don't know how much far off, right? Run after them, catch up with them, and say, hey, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you pass by, or you're too fast. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you. Yeah, try to do it that way, Put it on yourself, not on them. Go and say, like I do sometimes, hey, you didn't say hi to me. He could say the same about me, right? You didn't say hi to me. So let's put it on ourselves and say, I'm sorry I didn't notice you passed by. I noticed too late. So I ran after you, or I caught up with you so I can say hi. Try that. Don't ignore people. Don't treat them as if they were not there. Don't treat them as if they were invisible. Please, be friendly. Be friends. Can we do that? Yes. Amen.